with access to the internet can instantly see a variety of images from space. Telescopes worldwide are showing us the universe with ever-increasing clarity. Astronomy itself is in the midst of a revolution unequaled since Galileo first proved that the sun, and not the Earth, was at the center of our solar system. Until recently, such a revolution seemed unlikely, for telescopes everywhere, both large and small, share a common limitation. The problem does not lie within the telescope. The problem is the atmosphere. Wind, water vapor, temperature changes, and heat from the planet all combine to distort what we see.
Scientists began looking for ways to overcome the atmosphere years ago, long before space telescope was even dreamed of. In the mid-70s, we achieved a breakthrough when we learned how to make the atmosphere work for us rather than against us, using a method called speckle interferometry. This camera system intensifies light about 1 million times and produces 1,800 pictures a minute at very high magnification. These snapshots freeze out the atmosphere, and by analyzing the structure in the speckled images, we can study stars almost as if the atmosphere were not present at all. The Hubble Space Telescope is giving us clear images of objects almost at the edge of the universe. Speckle interferometry, on the other hand, has concentrated on relatively nearby bright objects such as Betelgeuse. Even these methods in these giant telescopes are quickly reaching their limits.
Optical astronomy is on the verge of a revolution where people won't build just larger and larger telescopes, but they'll also like to get very high angular resolution, so you can see objects in much more greater detail. And that's where, as I said, there'll be a lot of numerical astronomy that we'll do.
Chara is Georgia State University's Center for High Angular Resolution Astronomy. Building on the success of Speckle, Chara took another bold step in October of 1994.
I'm pleased to be here to announce a 5-year, $5.5 million grant from the National Science Foundation to Georgia State University to fund a revolutionary array of telescopes unlike any other in the world. The award will go to Georgia State Center for High Angular Resolution Astronomy, and I understand Georgia State will raise an additional $5.8 million in matching funds. My congratulations to you, Dr. Patton, and to Dr. Hal McAllister, and to all of those on this team here that are working together for this exciting project for our nation.
Well, we're certainly pleased that a number of leading organizations has stepped forward to also say that the Chara project is important. Certainly the National Science Foundation, which has put substantial funding into this project, sees it as one of the leading efforts in this entire area that it plans to support. And certainly the state of Georgia has placed substantial funding into the Chara project, also identifying this after review as a key project, a leading project, and we're pleased that we've gotten such positive support from these organizations.
This is the 100-inch telescope on Mount Wilson in California. In October of 1995, exactly 1 year after receiving the grant from the National Science Foundation, the Chara array was granted a future home on Mount Wilson. It was here, in the early part of this century, that Edwin Hubble made advanced discoveries about the nature of galaxies using the 100-inch telescope. This telescope was the premier astronomical facility of its day. The new Chara facility will be built right next to this historic instrument and will be operational before the end of the decade. The system will work like this. Instead of a single telescope, this new astronomical instrument will be an array of 5 telescopes, each 1 meter in diameter. Configured in a Y shape, the array will be 400 meters across. Beams of light from the telescopes will be collected and brought together simultaneously, producing a whole much greater than the sum of its parts. In terms of resolution, the effect will be like having one giant telescope with a mirror 400 meters in diameter, over 1/4 of a mile.
To give you an idea of the impact these methods are having on astronomy, consider a celestial picture familiar to many of us. During winter, as we look into the night sky using only our eyes and our imaginations, we can easily picture the constellation Orion. The Greeks saw Orion as a celestial hunter and named the bright star in his right shoulder Betelgeuse. To the naked eye, Betelgeuse appears as a reddish point of light with no discernible form. We know, however, that Betelgeuse is actually a supergiant star hundreds of times larger in diameter than our own sun. The Hubble Space Telescope shows Betelgeuse as a disk, with one hemisphere brighter than the other. This variation is probably due to spots on the star's surface. The Chara array will see Betelgeuse 100 times clearer than the Hubble telescope, and this magnificent star may look something like this.
Using current methods, Chara astronomers have discovered over 300 previously unresolved binary stars and have measured the orbital motions of thousands more. The new facility will ensure that Chara remains at the technological forefront. Although the data will be collected in California, the project will be designed, directed, and managed from Georgia State University in Atlanta. The Chara team of scientists and students will reside in Atlanta, where they will also analyze and store the complex data. The array, however, will do far more than just resolve binaries. It'll be able to see young stars, as well as planetary clusters in formation. Observations of galaxies and quasars may even reveal supermassive black holes hidden in their cores. Even more exciting is the search for planets outside our solar system, a problem basic to the search for extraterrestrial life.
These are the benefits we can anticipate from the Chara array now, and they'll be wonderful indeed. But we'll be using an instrument 100 times more powerful than any that's come before. And out there, who can imagine what wonders we may see?